Hey guys, on this episode of Coffee with Chris, we talk about how to pivot, when to pivot, and when to know that you've made a mistake. Hey guys, so I want to talk to you today about a mistake that I made in hopes that you don't also make it, or maybe you'll realize that you're making it as well. I actually honestly wasn't going to create a video like this, but I thought to myself, if I'm doing it, if I realized I did it, it could help others. So here we go. I'm going to talk about the mistake that I made, and hopefully it helps you as well. Either not make that mistake or realize you're making that mistake so that you can improve what you're doing. So what I did is, I've been posting videos. This is, I think, video number 8. And I have been, since I decided to start taking action, I have been just going. Like, I need to post every single day, make a new video, do this, do that, make sure this is set up correctly, make sure that is set up correctly, do all of these things. I'm just trying to move forward, just push forward, push things out, create content. Right now, quantity instead of quality, which I know some people will tell me is dumb, but I have my own reasons for that. I'll talk about that in another video, probably not on this channel, to be honest, because what I realized I was doing is I was talking about things, I was using this channel for the wrong purpose. Right, so this is my personal channel where I talk about the things that I care about, that I like. I'm also building out a number of other channels. One for finances, budgeting, saving, investing. One for advertising and copywriting. One for marketing, like entrepreneurship, startups, that kind of thing. And then I've got another kind of like documenting my journey of programming and coding and learning development. So what I realized I was doing is, well, number one, I wasn't clear on the whole purpose of this right here that I'm doing. I couldn't even to myself say, like, you think about the conversations that you might have and somebody says, oh, what's Coffee with Chris? I'm like, oh, well, it's where I just kind of talk. I couldn't even to myself create a clear definition or a clear purpose of what I was doing here. And when you realize that you don't have a clear purpose or clear definition, if you don't have a clear purpose, nobody else is going to know what your purpose is, right? Because there is none. And if you're not clear on what your purpose is, what the topics you want to talk about are, what your goals are for something that you're doing, then how are you going to get there? How are you going to get anywhere? Right? You can't get anywhere because you don't have any goals, because you're not clear on the purpose of what it is you're doing. So what I did was I got clear. I said, all right, actually, let me take a step back. So what I did first was I took a look at what I had been doing. I took a look at all of my goals in general. Like, so from a 50,000 foot view, what are my goals? From a 50,000 foot view, what are my goals? And then from there, looking down, here are the different things I want to do with my life. I want to build my own personal brand. I want to build these businesses, these other brands. And then I reflected. I said, okay, what I've done so far, is that consistent with what I want to be doing? Is that consistent with the goals and the outcomes that I had in mind? Is that consistent with the path that I want to take? And for me, in regards to this channel, this podcast, if you're listening to the podcast, the answer was no. Not even a little bit. right? I mean, the last video I did was a rant about selling versus bringing value, right? Clearly the purpose or the where that video should be should not be here, right? It should be on the one that's the channel I have building based on marketing, entrepreneurship, and startups. This doesn't, if I post that video here, when clearly it fits in another purpose, then I'm mixing and mingling what I'm trying to do, and that just doesn't create anything good. What it creates is confusion. It creates confusion for me. It creates confusion for you, more importantly. And so, as I reflected, I realized that I had to pivot, had to move, had to change what I was doing. I had to realign myself with my goals, which is a normal, if you ever started off on a path, sometimes you can get distracted. Sometimes you can realize that where you originally thought you wanted to go, you're not going there anymore. You should have taken a right somewhere, but you accidentally took a left. That's okay. Just turn around. And I wasn't actually going to create a video like this to explain the mistake that I made, but I, had a couple thoughts. One, if this is about building a personal brand and trying to be consistent, I like talking about my mistakes and telling people my mistakes so that they don't make them either. I love giving the lessons that I've learned so that other people don't have to make those mistakes as well. Because if I can save you from making the same mistake I made, I'm improving your life, which is awesome. It is what I want to do. So that's what I did. That's the mistake that I made. But I'm pivoting. And so going forward, right, from here on out, on forward, if you're looking at what we're going to be doing, what I'm going to be doing here with this channel, with Coffee with Chris, is going to be solely focused, right, on the things that I enjoy and love that are not currently sitting in another brand, waiting to be built, or maybe by the time you watch this video, already built. Who knows? But this is going to be solely focused on like self-improvement, goals, habits, productivity, and just really how to build your best self, your most efficient, most productive self. Might sprinkle in a few other small things, time management. I love chess. But 99.999% of what we're doing here is solely related to building the best self, building your best self. Self-improvement, goal setting, habits, productivity. Coming at you. All right, so hopefully you've learned something from my mistake. I have other things that I, could add, but I think I made my point. Where, do what you want to do, and then reflect on what you're doing. Make sure it makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense, pivot. Nobody's going to be affected by you pivoting and deciding to create more of what you want to create that aligns with your vision for your future. So guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to something I've learned. Hopefully it's helped you. And let me know in the comments below if you've ever made that mistake before and realized it, or if it's helped you from making that mistake. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what I've said here today. So guys, again, thanks again. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel to receive updates. Click that little bell icon, and you'll be notified every single time I upload a new video, which is Monday through Fridays at 9 a.m. Eastern. All right, and thanks again so much, and I will see you on the next episode of Coffee with Chris. Thanks.